12 miles of glistening sandy beaches, a fine selection of sporting activity and more than 250 restaurants, Hilton Head is a premium holiday destination. Situated on the southern point of South Carolina's coast, the island is famed for its stretch of white sands. But a visit here is more than just a day at the beach. Hilton Head also plays host to a fine selection of golf courses. Now, you may well recognise these red and white stripes as it overlooks the 18th hole at Harbour Town Golf Links, which plays host to the PGA Tour's RBC Heritage each year. And if you happen to be in town during tournament week, this spot right behind me is where you might find a few players or caddies enjoying a post-round drink. Sea Pines Resort is home to 3 golf courses bordered by the Atlantic Ocean, making for some breathtaking views. Serving their Heron Point and Ocean courses sits a newly built clubhouse, the Plantations Golf Club, which has everything you need for the perfect post-round retreat. Well, while Sea Pines may seem to have all you would ever want in a golf resort, there is still plenty more to choose from in Hilton Head, and one that comes highly recommended is the Palmetto Dunes Resort. It's home to 3 courses, one of which is the Robert Trent Jones course, which I've come to check out with one of the staff professionals. Clark, hey, nice to meet you.
Hey, Karen, nice to see you.
And you, thanks for having us here. So, very excited to be at Palmetto Dunes and checking out the Robert Trent Jones course. And I think we're going to play a hole together. So, here we are on the 13th tee. What can we expect from this hole?
The 13th hole is roughly 400-yard par 4. A lot of water features, bunkers. Back here we're protected from the wind a little bit, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, you talk about water features. I mean, look at this. There's plenty of water in front of us. I'm very pleased I get to play off the ladies' tee, which is a little bit further ahead. Let's kick off with you on the white tees.
All right, thank you.
So what do you got, driver?
I have my driver, old school.
Nice swing.
That'll work. It's a pretty challenging hole from right here. For you, I'd probably just try to hit it over the center of those bunkers right there in front of us. That's beautiful.
So I've ended up going right, but I think I'm okay.
It did.
Perfect. I'll take that, Clark. Let's go. And one thing that strikes me about golf in Hilton Head is you've had some amazing designers come and design the courses here. I've been to Sea Pines as well. There's Pete Dye layouts there. It seems to be a really premium golfing destination.
All the golf courses are of great quality. We always pride ourselves on conditions here. And you were talking about designers and Pete Dye. I think this year was the first year they started talking about Jack Nicklaus again, being a co-designer. I mean, it gave me goosebumps when they were talking about it.
I'll let you play first, see this.
Alrighty.
My drive just finished.
Since I'm short. Oh.
A little long, right?
Well, I got it on.
Oh, but short.
That'll work.
Okay, well, just before I play my wedge shot, Clark, tell me then, with the 3 courses you've got here at Palmetto, do they suit a certain type of golfer, or are they all fairly amenable?
They're all fairly amenable to everybody, depending on what tees you play. A lot of people consider the Hills course more difficult for beginners, but it's still quite a short course. And the other 2 courses, they're good for anybody, depending on where you tee off from. So it's good for everybody, and they're all in good shape, as you can see. So it's a lot of fun for everyone.
Okay, I've got my wedge, Clark. Where am I aiming? Looks slightly left to right?
It's going to break slightly to the right.
Okay.
Good.
Sit down. Come on. Ooh. Still a bit of meat on that bone. Get in the hole. Look at that.
Nice.
Right. I've got a lot to live up to now.
Right edge. Beautiful. Welcome to Palmetto Dunes.
Thank you. Right, I'm going to play with you more often if I get a par in every hole.
Same here, thank you.
Well, after a long day out on the golf course, what better way to come and relax than with a massage at the Western Resort's Heavenly Spa? And I'm being treated to their performance massage, where they use hot stones shaped like golf balls to help relieve all that tension. After all that, you're bound to have worked up quite an appetite. So I've come to try a local delicacy at one of the island's finest waterfront restaurants, the old Oyster Factory. Now, Andy, I've heard so much about this place. Oysters are raved about. So talk me through the process of how you prepare them to look like this and go out to the table.
Yep.
Let's have a look. But it's a really hard shell, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Oyster shells are shaped basically from the geography from where they're at. For example, here in the waters of Broad Creek, it's very, very shallow, so the shells tend to be a little bit more narrow and long because they're reaching towards the sun, growing towards the sun. Whereas some deep water oysters have much more flat and rounder shells because they don't see very much light, so they just grow out as opposed to growing up towards the sun.
So this restaurant is built over oyster beds all around it, as we can see when we look outside over the marshland. So a lot of the produce comes from locally just outside.
That's correct, yeah. We fly in oysters from all over the world in addition to the oysters we use here from Broad Creek, being the old Oyster Factory. Serving as many oysters as we do, we like to have a large variety so that people can try different kinds. So you can get, you know, an oyster sampler, for example, with 4 different types of oysters and experience the wide variety of taste and sizes and textures.
So here in South Carolina, are oysters quite a typical dish? Are they part of southern food, southern living?
Oh, quite, yeah. They're oyster roasts in the fall. You know, people go out back on Sundays after church and have just, you know, roast oysters and have good times with good friends, drink, you know, cocktails and just, you know, enjoy football, stuff like that.
So Andy, obviously this is called the Oyster Factory, so I'm guessing they're a big part of your menu. But for people that might not want to eat purely oysters, or I'm not a very experienced oyster eater, what other things do you offer?
We try to cater to everybody, every individual and their particular tastes. But for the most part, when people come to the old Oyster Factory, they're coming for good, fresh seafood. And we really have, here lately, made a shift towards local and sustainable products, getting as much fish as we can out of the waters right around us.
Well, I think it's only right if we try one. Okay. Will you have one with me?
Yeah.
Cheers. That is amazing. I did not expect that to taste like that. That is really good. As fresh as they come, straight out of the sea. Wow, the old Oyster Factory really is the place to come for a fresh oyster. Andy, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Well, there's something wonderfully different about the relaxed nature and warm attitude of life in Hilton Head. And although the island may only be 12 miles by 5 miles wide, I've discovered it's the perfect destination for any retreat. So all that's left for me to do is enjoy the beautiful sunset.